Well, good Wednesday morning to everybody. It's early in the morning because I'm off to have breakfast with the pastors. Looking forward to our prayer meeting tonight, and you can see it's a little dark and gray. Good thing the clocks are changing this weekend. Although we can have a debate about whether that's good or not, right? So, reading through Luke 18. It's Luke 18 today, and it's interesting in this that Jesus has this talk about how you receive the kingdom, followed up by the incident that happened with the rich man, the rich young ruler. And so we have Jesus explaining to his disciples that they have to, in order to receive the kingdom, they have to receive it as children receive it. And and we know that childhood is a very special time. And as we get older and we have more experience, we take on a lot more baggage. There's a bit of bitterness that settles in. Bitterness that things didn't turn out the way we had hoped that they had turned out. I'm not meaning a deep-seated bitterness, but just maybe a tinge of it. There's all kinds of emotional baggage that comes along, and there's tons of experience that we start relying upon. I'm told that when you're 50, your brain is actually at its peak, not because it works faster, because it actually works slower, but it has a whole treasure trove of experience to draw upon, so it doesn't have to think so quickly. It just pulls out the experience. And that's what we do, is that we don't put so much effort into things because we evaluate things according to our experience. This is actually a huge stumbling block to receiving the kingdom, to seeing the kingdom, to walking in the kingdom realm, because experience can it's like borders. It just borders. This is how things work out, and things never work out that way. And so it's harder for us to believe in the possibilities of God. Not to believe in God, but to believe that He will do something in this. If you've seen like 4 or 5 people die of cancer, and then somebody close to you has cancer, you're already planning the funeral because that's your experience. And to believe in a healing, to believe that God would want to intervene, you know that He can, but it's always a question of whether He wants to, and He always wants to. But we've built up this experience that He won't. So it's hard for us to operate in the kingdom, to walk in the kingdom, to have that expectation as a child. A child doesn't have all those borders, and a child, everything is possible to a child. They can do anything. They can achieve anything. They have a blank slate in front of them that hasn't been all marked up yet. And so it's sometimes difficult. We struggle with the whole thing of letting go of those things, of surrendering those things. That's why we talk about every day is a surrender. You have to surrender every day, because your experience is going to want to take over. We can be a lazy people, and instead of thinking through things, we just would rather put it in the neutral and coast. So yeah, and then this is followed up by the rich young ruler. And Jesus is saying it's next to impossible. So it's next to impossible for somebody who is rich on their own to enter into the kingdom realm, because to enter into the kingdom realm, there has to be a sense of needing the king. There has to be a sense of dependency. There has to be a sense of provision from the king. If you don't need the king, then you're not going to enter into the kingdom realm. Why enter it if you don't see any need for it? And that's where a lot of people are in life these days, is why do I need Jesus? Why do I need God? Why do I need the kingdom? I'm perfectly happy. I've got everything I need. They're dead. they don't know. They don't know the life and the love and everything that God provides. They don't know there's a bus going by. Those things are loud. They don't know the abundant life because they've never tasted the abundant life, so that they think that what they have is all that they need. And it can be like that with riches. When you have riches, you think you've got everything that you need. Money can be a huge stumbling block when you have a lot of it, because you don't need anybody, you don't need anything, so you don't need God. So there has to be a sense of desperation in order to enter into the kingdom of God. I desperately need him for my salvation. I desperately need him for my joy. I desperately need him for my peace. I desperately need him because the things that I need to do, I can't do on my own. And that's why he moves us into these places of impossibility. He has us walk in this realm of the impossible becoming possible. And he calls us into things that are always beyond ourselves, because if it's not beyond us, then we won't need him. And if we don't need him, then we'll operate in our flesh, and we won't operate according to the Spirit. So it's hard to enter into the kingdom that way, isn't it? So yeah, I find it very interesting. These are back to back, and good for us to be reminded of today. Listen, you guys have a fantastic day. I love you. I'm really looking forward to spending tonight with you guys. And yeah, let's just enter into this stuff, into the realms of all things are possible. You guys are great. Be engaged with somebody today. God bless.